that was a superb summing up. I found myself going, yes, yes, yes. I very rarely say yes that many times. So I thought that was absolutely superb. Some people in this room will know I have a separate job to the Federation job that I do. I work in an organisation called GIRFT, which is Get It Right First Time. That's an England body, so I work 4 nations for Federation, but I work for GIRFT, and I'm the lead for urgent and emergency care acute medicine. And part of what you've said resonates entirely, because if you look at urgent emergency care, unless we look at the whole pathway of the patient, we'll never fix it. But the other aspect, and the thing that I think resonates between GIRFT and in terms of training, is something that we're trying to get rid of, which is unwarranted variation. We can't lose variation because we are all going to be different. But if unwarranted variation occurs, it occurs to the detriment of the patient. It should be said we were going to have patient representation here, but ironically they became unwell. So we don't have a patient representative here. But it's really very, very clear that things that have been coming through repeatedly, and I would absolutely be encouraging, is we need to work together. We need to collaborate. We're all working in silos. Now, going back to my GIRFT experience, that's NHS England. The DHSC has a completely separate and quite anonymous group working on urgent and emergency care. And then there is something called ESIST, which is another one working on urgent and emergency care. And trying to get that groups to work together is a real challenge. But can we, for the sake of making sure that the trainees we have coming through in internal medicine and subsequently into whichever specialty, including clinical oncology, just so we're clear, coming through so that we actually do produce doctors who are going to be looking after the patients we have and expect high quality care. And I'm particularly encouraging people to go into geriatric medicine because I'm going to need them in the not too distant future. But the point being, we have to ensure that what we're doing actually helps people to train rather than finding they're caught up in lots of different roadblocks. That's what the quality is about. Whatever we're doing, we need to make sure that we are producing a quality product at the end of this. Somebody said earlier on that Medicine PLC from the UK has a good reputation. I would absolutely subscribe to that, but we need to make sure whatever we do, whatever direction we take, Colin, and whatever the future holds, I think we need to make sure that still remains part of what we do. On that note, I will absolutely thank Colin. I think that was a superb talk, absolutely brilliant. And as I said, I regret that you are now moving to other areas because I thought your vision for what the future could hold is one that I would absolutely subscribe to. So can I just provide thanks to the people that have organised this, the GMC for hosting the event and now allowing us to use the NTS, even if its future for the quality may be a bit limited. Derek has spoken once, but it should be said that Derek has been absolutely at the core of generating the quality criteria, coming in as an employer and working collaboratively with all the other organisations. Obviously, from Federation's point of view, I think we owe him an enormous debt of gratitude. So thank you very much, Derek. Derek and I think, would automatically go, okay, we're going to have another meeting. What's Miriam going to tell us to do now? But Miriam has been absolutely driven to make sure the quality criteria have been developed and that this event has been a success, but has been backed up by an incredibly talented team. Ricane, Helen, Hannah, Erin, Renee. It's very strange, Renee. I can't get that song out of my mind now, you know. Don't walk away, Renee, and I've been singing it in my mind ever since. And anyway, Bianca, and thank you very much to the AV team. Thank you very much indeed. The oversight group has had multiple representation. Colin's alluded to the fact we've had right across the spectrum of people contributing towards how we can define quality. It's been really interesting hearing how people say it's difficult to define quality. There are a number of data points that you could define in terms of how we deliver care acutely, which could be reflected in training. But at the moment, we need to move from where we are and make sure that we are ensuring that quality and that we do not have unwarranted variation in the delivery of training. Variation, yes, unwarranted. If it's deleterious to how we're training, then we need to avoid it. But I think the conversations, the discussions, and your contributions have been fascinating. I'm going away from here thinking we're actually going to need to do a fair amount of what we're expecting those that get to a CCT in the physician specialties. Are we needing to review what we're asking them to do? So I would thank each and every one of you for attending this event, for contributing, and hopefully we can work collaboratively to take things forward and provide a quality initiative as we move to what now seems a fairly uncertain future, especially in NHS England or wherever we are. In terms of the support for all of this, and indeed always keeping me right, Lynn Katz is just amazing at making sure that I am right. So Lynn, thank you very much. So I've now obstructed your way towards getting some refreshments. I'll get out of the way now, but thank you very much, everybody.